Hey there everyone, welcome back to my Bookie Babe book review series here on my channel. I'm Caitlin, your geeky girlfriend, and I am going to review another book today. This was one that I finished when we went on our trip to Georgia a few weeks ago, and I just now am getting around to recording the review. So as always, you can follow me on Goodreads at K McClure or at your geeky girlfriend, Caitlin McClure. You can search me either way over there, and I have full reviews listed. These videos are just sort of a quick 5 minutes. Here's what you need to know about the book sort of a thing. It's supposed to be more of the Cliff Notes, if it's worth the read or not. So without further ado, let's get into today's review. I'm reviewing the second installment of the Confessions of a Shopaholic series, Shopaholic Takes Manhattan, written by Sophie Kinsella. I reviewed the first book in this series in my channel already, so if you're seeing this video and you haven't read the first book, scroll down, stop when you get to the first installment, which is just Confessions of a Shopaholic, and listen to that review to see if it's a series that interests you. Me, personally, it is a series that interests me. I have seen the movie. I saw the movie before reading the book. Yes, I know. But I consider myself a shopaholic, and so I find a lot of humor in these books. I think they are really hysterical, really relatable. Another thing that I love about them is they are mostly set in Britain, so a lot of the slang and some of the language and terminology that's used is just really fun, and you can just imagine reading everything in a British accent. So if you've seen the movie, this book does dabble in more of the pieces of the movie. So it's my understanding that the movie Confessions of a Shopaholic with Isla Fisher is kind of a summary of all of the books put together, but I don't know that for a fact because both of the books that I've read so far have had pieces in the movie. So one of the biggest pieces that's in the movie is she sells all of her clothes. Becky ends up selling all of her clothes to pay off her debts. But in this scenario, she actually is selling them because she wants to move to New York. She wants to have nothing with her. She wants to completely start fresh. So that's a little bit different storyline than in the movie. But she does pay off her debts in the first book. Slight spoiler there. So this one features the auction of all of her clothes. If you've seen the movie, the scene with the green scarf is kind of iconic, and that scene is played out in this book as well. There are some other, the movie is all set in Manhattan, it's all set in New York, so it's kind of interesting to read about it instead. But honestly, the scene with the auction and all of Becky's clothes being sold is probably the biggest takeaway that's in the movie from this book. There is a trip that her and Luke take to New York City together. There is a trip that they go to the countryside. They go to a wedding. And there's all of more details about what Luke actually does, his job, and being in a relationship with a businessman and somebody who's very well known is all tackled in this book. So it's kind of got that socialite vibe to it as well, if you like kind of those seedy reads. Once I got into it, I was able to read it very quickly. At the time when I started this book, I actually was reading another book. Scroll up on here because that review is right after this one. I was reading another book that I was struggling to get into, so I kind of picked this one up as a lighter read. And when I was at a meet back in the winter, I was like, I need something that's, not super, I don't want to say controversial, but something that would spark a heated debate. Because when I'm trying to read or at a meet, if I'm trying to just take a break, I just want it to be that. I want it to be a break. And the other book that I reviewed, you can scroll up, like I said, that one could cause some debate. Not debate as political or anything like that, but this is a lot lighter of a conversation topic. And so I picked this up, started reading it, and because I was still very far into the other book, I had a harder time getting into it. So once I was done with the other book, then I was able to dive more into this one, and I read it literally in a day. I think I read from page 100 to the end. Not in a, oh my gosh, this is so good, I can't stop reading it Verity sort of way, but more just this is enjoyable, I just want to get it finished because I was on a roll at that point, and I was just in the car a lot. So I was enjoying what I was reading, but it wasn't like oh my gosh, I just have to keep reading like it was with Verity. So overall, I did actually enjoy this book, I think, better than the first one, simply because I love the auction scene. I love New York City. It's one of my favorite places. I want to go back there someday, hopefully sooner rather than later. And I love that it brought that part of the movie to life. And I love the relationship piece of it too. So that romance piece of it between Becky and Luke, I really, really liked. And there's some drama in there as well that is just, it's interesting to read, and Becky kind of trusts her intuition, which I really, really like. And people learn to take her a little bit more seriously in this book, which I appreciate as well. So overall, I actually enjoyed this book a little bit better than the first one. However, I don't recall what I actually rated the first one, but I'm going to rate this one an 8 out of 10. It did start off really slow, still did not hit all of the pieces of the movie, but it allows me to want to keep reading because I want to find the other scenes in the movies, in the books. So all of that being said, I would rate this one an 8 out of 10. I don't recall what I rated the original one, but I did enjoy this one a little bit more than the first one, and I read it faster than the first one. So take that how you will. I'm going to get back to posting some movie reviews very soon as well. I have lots and lots and lots of movies to review with you guys. I just don't have a laptop right now that is able to film YouTube videos, so therefore I'm trying to kind of navigate that situation. So once I get a laptop or a way to record movie reviews, I will upload. I have probably 12 or 15 movies to upload in the channel here as well. So I wanted to go ahead and get the book reviews done. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, subscribe to my channel and get ready for a summer full of content. And if you're keeping up with my challenge, this is officially book number 3 for the year. So I'm not doing super hot with my 2023 book challenge. My goal this year is 15. Or 1/5 of the way through, and one of the books I actually cannot review on here or on Goodreads because it is not actually published yet. I was part of a beta reading program, so once it gets to a level where it's like actually published and you're able to purchase it, then I will jump on here and do the review. But since I was just a beta reader, I have to my review was done in the form of a summary first, and then I'll be able to come back once the book has actually been published and write my review then. So this is number 3. And I hope you all enjoy this video. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.